Hello my friends, hola amigos. If you've been following my channel, you probably already know that I was raised in my early years in a farm in northern Spain, in Navarra. And for that reason, of course, we grew our own veggies. We had a quite extensive vegetable garden, and my mother in different seasons of the year used the different veggies that we have, like chard and cabbages in the winter, or bell peppers, and of course tomatoes and leeks and courgettes, all kinds of things in the summer. And my mother was very good at making dishes with those veggies in an enormous flat pan that I still remember. My passion for vegetables has stayed with me ever since. And I'm not a vegetarian myself. I eat all kinds of things, but I always try to keep my vegetables at the base of my particular eating pyramid, because I think that is at the base of a healthy diet as well. And today I'm cooking vegetables in a fun and easy way. You know that stir fries have been made popular because they come also from Eastern cuisine. Chinese people and Korean people make wonderful stir fries. But the stir fry that I am going to cook today is 100% Spanish, like everything I do, almost everything. And I'm going to present the different vegetables, and we'll be using the wonderful olive oil and the Spanish paprika. And that will be all. Simple as that. So I'm going to present the ingredients like I usually do, like I always do. Here they are. I did my vegetable shopping yesterday because we don't have these vegetables this time of the year here. We don't grow anything right now. For my stir fry today, I bought this enormous bell pepper in the local market, and I'll be using like a quarter of it and saving the rest. You can cut up the veggies and keep them for 3-4 days in an airtight plastic container very easily. I do that all the time. So we'll be using part of this red pepper. Let's see what comes out of this magic packet. 1 leek, okay, all from the local market. We're using like half of these fennel stock, okay. Fennel, I love fennel. It adds a lot of flavor to the stir fry, but it's also, depending on taste. Right. Okay, these are, spring garlics, we call them. Fresh garlic, 3 of them. I got 1 spring onion, medium size. Got 2 small green peppers, okay. And finally, 1 big carrot. That's all it takes. Isn't it colorful for the vegetables? The last part is that I was lucky enough to see in the local market yesterday. I saw a local grower of mushrooms, and he was able to sell me a few shiitake mushrooms, just a few. I'm keeping some more for tomorrow. And he offered these lovely looking mushrooms that he also grows, in different colors. Those are, they have a slight lemon flavor, apparently. These I'm using for the first time, but the shiitake, I'm a total fan of shiitake mushrooms in small quantities, mixed up with other veggies. They are simply delicious, okay? Now for the seasoning, we have the Spanish paprika that I use in a lot of dishes, you know that, the pimenton, and like 2 or 3 garlic cloves, okay? Of course, the olive oil, will be using a small amount, and flaky salt, which we'll use at the end when we serve the dish on the table. And how are we going to cook these veggies? The Chinese, of course, and all the Eastern cuisine chefs, they use what they call the wok, which is a deep kind of rounded shape, bowl shape pan. As I don't have one of those, I'm using a rather flat non-stick pan. It has to be quite spacious to give room to all the veggies, so that they have the space to be stir-fried and turned over a few times. And that's the important thing, really. The only thing we need to do is actually cut up the vegetables. I usually do it in thin strips, and it's important that they are roughly the same size, the cut-ups that we make, okay? So this is done quickly. Now the fresh garlic. I rather like garlic in my stir fries because it gives it a bit of a bite, you know. I'm removing just the most outside layer. Easily done. Alright. Time to cut this one lengthwise, because there we are. My mother used ripe tomatoes to add to the stir fry in the summer. But since we don't have any ripe tomatoes this time of the year, I'd rather stay away from those dreadful supermarket tomatoes that they sell everywhere now. Carrot, okay. If you have a mandolina, it is very easily done. You can cut it much thinner than this. A bit stingy on the eyes. Cutting this in half. Oh, this is spring onion. Wow. Some people don't like the flavor that fennel gives to the stir fry. Oh, I'm almost crying. Can you see from the onion? People have different tricks for that not to happen, but I don't think they work. They never work with me. This sort of aniseed smell to the fennel. I just love fresh fennel. Just love it. But we're going to cut it very, very finely, very fine strips or slices. So I've got all the cut up vegetables for the stir fry here, except for the mushrooms, which I wanted to talk about now. We got 3 kinds of mushrooms today because I was lucky enough to find them in the local market. They usually come rather clean from the growers, but if you need to remove any, remains of dirt, I think they're clean, but use a wet cloth. Never ever put the mushrooms under the tap water, because they will be totally ruined. Okay, so if you need to remove any sort of dust or anything, I'm just removing the drier part of the stalk. Okay, oh, look at these colorful mushrooms. I'm so proud of local growers here. They have such a variety of products, and it's interesting to just go around the stalls in the market and ask them what they have today. And these I'm interested because they are supposed to be lemon scented, and they really, really smell a bit of lemon. Can you believe it? So I think I'm not going to cut those because they're rather small. So I'm saving these for later, okay? I'm going to set the heat on high for the first 3, 4, even 5 minutes. We're going to be cooking the veggies, and stirring them with a spatula, with a flat spoon, and then we lower the heat. For the last 2-3 minutes we'll add the mushrooms, okay, and finally the last touch with the paprika. Okay, so all the vegetables can go in together, all right, because they don't need different cooking times, just the mushrooms do. Give me olive oil. Stir it, turning it over, all right. Finely chopped garlic, okay. Time to add all our wonderful mushrooms, okay. I had lowered the heat a bit, but I'm actually turning it up again. And you can hear the music of our stir fry cooking. Finally, the paprika. Like twice this amount. Give a bit of a shake like this. And I think I'm going to put the lid on for 2 or 3 more minutes. The lid is too small, but it'll have to do. Our stir fry is ready after 6 minutes, and the thing is that veggies in a stir fry, they need to begin to soften, but not become soft. Okay, the idea is that when you eat them, there is a certain texture and character to them. So the veggies are ready to be served. Okay. Some people serve these vegetable stir fries with white rice or noodles, but you may have noticed that I'm using neither of the two. I make a simple plain meal of it, and I'm going to serve it with one thing that I simply adore, which is garlic toast with olive oil. And all you need to do after you toast the bread, you need to rub the bread with fresh garlic like this. Cut it in half, okay. I'm going to do it on both sides for more taste. Lovely. Okay. There we go. And I'm using the flaky salt for the last finish on both the toast and the stir fry. Okay. And this is a super nutritious vegetarian meal for all seasons. Enjoy it. Buen provecho.